As immigration protests continue in Los Angeles, a legal battle is also unfolding. A federal judge has denied the state's request to immediately block Donald Trump from sending in Marines and the National Guard. Michael Yoshida joins us now from L.A. And Michael, neither the president or the demonstrators seem willing to back down.
Hey there, Cynthia. No, not at all. And right now you can see it's a calm start to the day here in downtown Los Angeles following the first night of that curfew. Impacted about 1 square mile area here in downtown LA. You can see we have maybe a dozen, 2 dozen protesters behind me at the moment. Also those guard members standing outside this detention facility, which has been the focus for these protests the last 5 days. All of this happening as that showdown continues between the Trump administration and California leaders over immigration policies and enforcement.
We're not frightened to do something else if we need to.
U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi standing firm behind the president's actions in Los Angeles, placing hundreds of Marines on standby just outside the city and mobilizing the National Guard.
To protect our federal buildings, to protect the highways, to protect the citizens.
This morning, the U.S. Northern Command says those Marines are still undergoing training, including how to use non-lethal weapons.
These are the men and women trained for foreign combat, not domestic law enforcement.
On a New York Post podcast today, Trump says he feels more emboldened in his second term.
I can be stronger on an attack on Los Angeles. I think bringing in the National Guard 4 years ago or 8 years ago would have been more difficult.
California Governor Gavin Newsom has accused the president of dangerously inflaming the situation by sending in Marines and National Guard troops.
Democracy is under assault before our eyes.
An overnight curfew has been in effect in parts of downtown to tamp down potentially violent agitators and run-ins with the LAPD.
This was provoked by the White House. I posit that maybe we are part of a national experiment to determine how far the federal government can go in reaching in and taking over power from a governor.
The mayor says the curfew, which covers about 1 square mile of downtown LA, is likely to continue for a few more days. LA's unrest comes as similar protests take place in several other cities like New York, Austin, Washington, D.C., and Chicago.
And as National Guard members continue to stand watch here in downtown LA, we are getting reports that ICE raids continue in and around California. Just a short time ago, we did hear from LA Mayor Karen Bass. She was joined by about 30 other mayors from around the area. They talked about their wish for these ICE raids to stop. As for the curfew impacting this part of downtown LA, the mayor saying that it could remain in effect tonight depending on the level of activity. Cynthia.
Now, Michael, what have you been hearing from people who actually live in and around L.A.?
Yeah, so I think it's important to just keep reminding people that, yes, we're seeing all of these images on social media, on TV, but this really is, again, a pretty small section of L.A. that's being impacted by these protests, by these conflicts between law enforcement and some protesters, as well as the looting. Again, it's roughly a 1 square mile area. That's about 100,000 of the residents impacted of the 4 million that live here in the city. And in talking with those that live around L.A., they talk about how, they're still able to go to and from work for the most part. They're still able to go about their daily lives. I was talking with someone at our hotel last night who lives and works here in LA, and they're saying, he was expecting to see more activity on his way into work, and he really would have had no idea anything was going on when he showed up to work. So obviously they know it's happening, they know it's impacting their city, but again, it's not the whole city that's being fully impacted by these protests.
Much appreciated, Michael. Thank you. And that is CNN's Michael Yoshida in Los Angeles.